Hello, everybody. We are live.
Fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council. This is the Talking Information Center, a window to independent local volunteers reading over 300 newspapers, magazines.
Good morning, Paul.
Specific to your community.
Now available on your smart speaker by saying, play radio station Talking Information Center.
For comments and more information, call 781-834-4400 or visit DICnetwork.org.
Thank you for listening.
WDDF Middleboro, WRS Middleboro, WRSLP Pittsfield, WLO Londonderry, WDAO, Asphalt, WDJN Framingham.
Okay, that's good.
Broadcasting live from the
Got
Taunton Federal
3,
Credit Union
2,
Studios
4.
at 14 Church Green. We are AM 1530, WPBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleboro Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, man. Good day. Any day now.
News this hour for townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says American officials have been in direct contact with Syrian rebel group that spearheaded the overthrow of President Bashar Assad's government, but is designated a foreign terrorist organization by this country and others. He stressed the importance of working together to support a Syrian-led transition.
Where the United Nations plays a critical role, particularly when it comes to the provision of assistance, to the protection of minorities, to all the work that needs to happen going forward. So I look forward to this opportunity to compare notes with the envoy and to, again, think through how we can support the Syrian people in this time of both opportunity, but also a real challenge.
Blinken also says there needs to be a coordinated effort to help create a new Syrian government.
We can't underestimate the challenges of this moment and in the weeks and months ahead. The Syrian population has been traumatized by decades of repression. Throughout its rule, the Assad regime stoked tensions among ethnic and religious lines to divide the Syrian people.
Good morning, Pat.
After more than a decade of conflict and many decades of corruption, humanitarian needs of the people are massive.
Also at townhall.com, government officials are responding to questions about mysterious drone sightings. White House correspondent Greg Clugston files the story.
There have been numerous reports of drones flying at night in New Jersey and other parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby said there's no evidence the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. That echoes statements from the Pentagon and New Jersey's governor. But several lawmakers want more answers, and Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut says the drones should be shot down if necessary. Greg Clugston, Washington.
your approach to everyday aches and pains is to mask them, you know, feel better for a few hours only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. And the good news is Relief Factor makes that easy. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. How? Well, its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by doctors. It's 100% drug-free. And for so many people, the results are game-changing, even life-changing. So give it a try. Right now, their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. See how in a few weeks or even days, Relief Factor can reduce your pain. When you feel better, life is just better. So don't mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
Cyprus and the U.S. say they are doubling down on a joint effort to crack down on illicit finance.
The crackdown includes additional training of Cypriot law enforcement authorities to identify, investigate, and prosecute financial crimes. According to a joint statement, an ambitious plan for next year will involve 21 weeks of training for different Cypriot law enforcement agencies on financial investigative and forensic accounting techniques. Also include the use of technology in investigations.
Correspondent Jeremy House reporting the plan adds to a U.S. initiative launched 20 months ago following a pledge by Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulou to clean up the island nation's reputation as a money laundering and sanctions evasive hub. Offering his support for the
talked about that last week
before their contract expires next month at Eastern and Gulf Coast ports. More at townhall.com. It's a big donation for a worthy cause in Ohio. John Scott has more.
The organization spearheading installation of a monument to women's suffrage at the Ohio State House has received an anonymous $1 million donation. The Capitol Square Foundation announced the gift made in tribute to the late Joanne Davidson, the trailblazing first female Speaker of the Ohio House, died in October. After years of planning, the sculpture's monument design was approved by the Capitol Square Review and Advisory Board just last month. Unveiling scheduled for 2026. John Scott reports.
Alaska Airlines says it will launch service from Seattle to Tokyo to Seoul next year as part of a plan to boost international flying in the next several years. The airline raised its fourth quarter profit outlook and publicized a plan to boost profit by
a lot of Christmas stuff.
$1 billion over 3 years and is announcing a plan to spend $1 billion to buy back its own stock. You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor.
All right. 3, 5, enter.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WBDF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio.
Incrementally through this show today.
And their guests.
Okay, 270.
Hey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns. It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll.
Yellow mic.
Stay tuned for news.
Yellow mic up, blue mic up.
Here on AM
Good, all right.
1530 WBBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
And good morning and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll, joined by Don as always. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Joey.
Today is the third to last show of the year. So, yeah, today is December 15th, 2024. Pretty soon we'll be saying it's 2025. And pretty soon we'll be saying it's halfway through the decade. Be saying that sometime in June or July of next year. So, yeah, we're getting through the 2020s pretty quickly here. Or it seems like it's pretty quick. Yeah, we have all that going on. Let's do our weather here. We got a lot to get to today. A lot to talk about today, so we'll start with the weather. 13 degrees. Let me just make sure that's still the case. 14 degrees. There we go. One quick refresh later. 14 degrees. right now. 37 for the high today. Cloudy today. 46 tomorrow, so it warms up a little bit more. And then it warms up even more on Tuesday with a high of 57. This is for Middleboro. No sun during these days, but pretty warmer weather when it comes to December. So you have that going on there. Taunton, 14 degrees, a high of 36 today. Cloudy tomorrow, a high of 45. And partly sunny on Tuesday, 57 degrees in Taunton. So weather's a little bit different in Taunton than it is in Middleboro, which is interesting. Driscoll, Texas, 68 degrees, a high of 80 today. Sunny skies. I have 80 tomorrow and sunny as well. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, rain in the forecast. A high of 80 on Tuesday, a high of 76 on Wednesday in Driscoll, Texas. In Driscoll, North Dakota, 24 degrees. A high of 31, a low of 23, cloudy throughout the day. Cloudy on Monday and Tuesday, a high of 29 on Monday, and a high of 20 on Tuesday. Next Saturday, the low is going to be -2 in Driscoll, North Dakota. So definitely a little bit of an example there of how cold it gets in Driscoll, North Dakota. Sometimes it gets even colder than that. You get into the multiples of negatives in Driscoll, North Dakota sometimes. All right, we have our Today in Histories. Let me move my mic a little bit. There we go. Our Today in Histories are as follows. 1791, December 15th, 1791, the United States Bill of Rights becomes law when ratified by the Virginia General Assembly. Don, the Bill of Rights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important.
Very, very important. Another very important event, 1864, during the American Civil War, the Battle of Nashville takes place, or begins at least, in Nashville, Tennessee, and ends the following day with the destruction of the Confederate Army of Tennessee as a fighting force by the Union Army of the Cumberland. At this point, the Confederacy was on the defensive, and it wasn't too much longer after this, actually a few more months after this, where the Confederacy would sign their what's the word I'm looking for?
Peace treaty?
Peace treaty, there we go. The peace treaty at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia, I believe it is. And that was in April of 1865. At this point, the Confederacy was losing ground everywhere. You had Sherman's march to the through Georgia there. He pretty much destroyed a lot of things on his march, to Atlanta there, and the Confederacy couldn't do anything about it there. And it's pretty much at this point, pretty much the Confederacy was done in 1864 there. But there were chances, Don, for that war to end a lot sooner than it actually did, Don.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, a lot sooner. If some generals listened to Abraham Lincoln, which they did not.
The Civil War was like really the first war that they had communication, because
Absolutely.
When it wasn't getting sabotaged and the poles weren't getting cut down by enemy fire, enemy troops or whatever, and the wires weren't getting cut.
It was a surrender, not a peace treaty. Surrender,
Okay.
not a peace treaty. At Appomattox, in Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia.
But Civil War was the first mechanized war because of the railroads.
Yep.
So they could move troops pretty quicker than any other war in history, I believe, at that point. And communication, they had Morse code, they had communication, and the president could, maybe that was different back then, because usually you send generals out to the field.
Yeah.
And they're on their own, but now you got the commander-in-chief from Washington communicating orders down through the wires, the Morse code wires down to the battlefield. So that was, I think, the first time that was ever done. So it's all about communication, I think. But,
Absolutely.
I mean, that was huge. I mean, Abraham Lincoln stood up in Washington giving orders. I mean, 200 miles down the tracks.
Yeah. I mean, there was, like I said, there was an opportunity for the Union to take Richmond a lot earlier than what they ended up when they ended up taking and when they ended up ending the war, which is 4 years. They could have ended it a lot sooner than that, but there was a whole bunch of things that happened.
Well, the communication got better.
And the communication when it comes to the duration of the war, it got better.
Well, think about it, Joey. I mean, if communication's a new key ingredient, Morse code, putting the poles up, and most of the poles ran next to the railroad, the more territory that the Union would get, the more the communication poles are safe. I mean, because I'm sure they're being sabotaged left and right. You get communication one day, and then you got nothing. Then you got to send someone over to repair it. It's just like keep going and going and going. But as you cede more territory, the communication gets better.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not sure if it was a case of. And you know what? I've studied a lot of the American wars. Watched documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
Civil War. I'm less up to speed than say World War II, Revolutionary War, World War One.
A lot of battles in the Civil War.
A lot. There's people who would just dedicate themselves just to learning about the Civil War, and these people are really smart. I met a guy who was really smart about that, and he just knew everything, every battle, every this, every that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people who were really, really on the ball when it comes to the Civil War. I'm not really one of them, to be honest with you. I mean, I know my basics, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I know by the time December of 1864 rolled around, the war was pretty much over.
But I mean, I'm not. But to say that the generals weren't listening to orders, I just think communication was brand new at the time, and they had railroads, so they could just stick the troops.
Yeah.
In the cannon and in all the ammunition and all the food, everything that goes with fighting a war on a train, and they could move it so much faster.
I think from what I was listening to, when it comes to Civil War, I think there was an opportunity for McClellan to attack Richmond, and he didn't take it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But and if Richmond had been taken when that was supposed to. When that battle was supposed to happen, I think it was in 1862. I'm not 100% up to speed with the Civil War either, but then the war would have been over a lot sooner. But
well, you don't know that because I mean,
if they potentially could have been.
Well, if they attacked that
potentially,
first, they still got strongholds on the rest of the South.
No, exactly. You still got Georgia and
right.
the other areas in the South.
Yeah.
I mean, what Sherman did. In Georgia, was definitely an interesting thing. Definitely an interesting set of battles there, and tactics that he ended up having to do there in Georgia. His march to the sea, I think they call it.
The Civil War is fascinating because it was the first war to have ironclads, battleships, technically. And technically, CSS Hundley was a sub, first sub in the world, I believe, maybe in battle. Didn't work out too good for the Confederates because they all drowned.
Yeah. All right. From our friend here in Georgia, Scott. He comments on Facebook, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. No, I agree. 1893, Symphony Number 9 from the New World, a.k.a. the New World Symphony by Anton Dvorak, premieres in a public afternoon rehearsal at Carnegie Hall in New York, and it is followed by the concert premiere, which is December 16th, 1893. Don, have you ever watched Gone with the Wind?
I think I did once. I'm not sure. It was a long time ago.
But yes, so Gone with the Wind premiered 85 years ago today. It is currently, I don't know as of right this second, but it is. It used to be, or it still is. I don't know. I haven't checked the Wikipedia page for the highest grossing films adjusted for inflation, but it's up there, if not at the top. Still, I know there's been some movies that have been released recently that could maybe top that. I don't know. It has received a lot of money over the years, but Gone with the Wind, right now, currently, I think, the highest inflation-adjusted grossing film of all time. Receives its premiere at Lowe's Grand Theater in Atlanta.
Yeah, Lowe's.
Lowe's, it's Lowe's? Okay. At Lowe's Grand Theater. 1961, during the Eichmann trial, Adolf Eichmann is sentenced to death after being found guilty by an Israeli court of 15 criminal charges, including charges of crimes against humanity, crimes against the Jewish people, and membership of an outlawed organization. That whole Adolf Eichmann story is very, very interesting, Don.
The Israelis went to Argentina because that's where it was.
Mm-hmm.
In an Israeli plane, I think Avi Eben was the dignitary for Israel at the time, and while he was there doing his diplomatic stuff, commandos went and took him, stuffed them in the plane, and they all flew back together to Israel. That's how that happened.
All right. 1978, U.S. President Jimmy Carter announces that the United States will recognize the People's Republic of China and sever diplomatic relations with the Republic of China, aka Taiwan. And in 2001, the Leaning Tower of Pisa reopens after 11 years and $27 million spent to stabilize it without fixing its famous lean. That is very interesting, Don. What goes into keeping that up and running.
Growing up in Quincy, we used to have a leaning house on pizza.
Well, there you go.
We got slices after school.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break here. When we come back, we'll have the rest of our state history. Coming up later, we'll talk about some events coming up in and around the area for Christmas events and much more. We'll talk about some sports because we got a lot to talk about there. Army-Navy took place this weekend. Kind of an anticlimactic game, kind of a blowout, but we'll talk about that later on in the show today. You're listening to Middleboro Review. You can give us a call at 508-822-1106. And you're listening to WVB at 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You can reach them at 508-583-1495. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508-583-1495.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
Three, 2, 1, 0. And welcome back to Middleboro in Review. It is 7:25 a.m. Coming up after our news break, we'll be talking about some sports. We'll talk about Army-Navy. We'll talk about some of the bowl games that are coming up this week. We'll talk about some of the bowl games that have already taken place. We'll talk about the Division II, Division III playoffs as well for college football and much more on our sports segment there. We'll probably focus just on football today coming up here. And then maybe I'll do a longer sports segment on maybe on Middleboro Matters tomorrow on different things as well. We also have the Heisman's trophy ceremony, so I'll talk about that too briefly. And who ended up winning that. So that's coming up after our news break. And we'll have a whole bunch of different Christmas events that I want to talk about too. And also try to get some transportation into the conversation here at the towards the end of the show today too. So we've got a lot to get to. But anyway, let's finish off our state histories. Birthdays today. 1832, Gustave Eiffel, a French architect and engineer. He co-designed the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is such an impressive structure. Seen so many pictures of it. It's just a very impressive structure. 1892, J. Paul Getty, Don. J. Paul Getty, American English businessman and art collector. He founded Getty Oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Getty signs all over the place, in the 70s, and driving down the highway.
Yeah. And
my favorite Getty is Getty Lee.
We'll actually get to a musician here in a second. 1921, Alan Freed, American radio host. His birthday would have been today. He would have been 103, Don.
Wow.
Yeah. We have fans of Stryper. We have a birthday today here for you. 1962, Tim Gaines, American bass player. Used to be in Stryper. I don't believe he is in Stryper anymore, but he used to be in the original lineup there. And really, really good bass player.
You know why they did so well? Because all the kids who wanted to listen to heavy metal back in the 80s, and their mothers wouldn't let them, or fathers.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, look at this. This is all about this and that. And then they're like, okay, and that's probably why.
Yeah.
Parents had a lot to do with letting their children listen to what they wanted to listen to.
Absolutely. And they're a really good band.
And they are a good band, too.
They're a really good band.
They're a religious band, and people probably elevate that way, and that's probably why they were so successful.
Yes. 1967, Mo Vaughn, American baseball player, played for the Red Sox. A little bit about Mo Vaughn here. You got a minute. Let's talk a little bit about him. He made his debut in 1991 for the Red Sox. His last MLB appearance was for the Mets. He played for the Red Sox from 1991 to 1998. He was in Los Angeles for the Angels back when they were called the Anaheim Angels. He's a three-time All-Star, 1995, 96, and 98. He's also won the Silver Slugger. He was also the American League RBI leader. There we go. In 1995, he is in the Red Sox Hall of Fame. So, pretty important player there for the Red Sox. Our birthdays for today: 1944, Glenn Miller, American band leader and composer. He would have been 80 today. He passed away. No, he wouldn't. He would not have been 80. I apologize. No, He died in 1944. No, he would have been. If he was still alive today, he would be 120. I apologize. Not
80, right?
No, not 80. Not even close. I apologize there. I need more coffee. But Glenn Miller died on this day in 1944. Also passing away on this day, December 15th, 1966, Walt Disney, American animator. 1966, yep.
He was a chain smoker. He smoked a lot of cigarettes, and I think that had a lot to do with his death.
Yeah.
But I mean, I heard he was.
So he co-founded Walt Disney, which is still going strong today, and ruining Star Wars. But we won't get into that today. And ruining Star Wars.
Well, he didn't physically ruin Star Wars.
I know. All
right.
His company did. His company did.
Some of those spin-offs are really good.
Yes. Yes. Good. They are. But the main movies have not been.
No.
And that's the bread and butter.
It's funny. I consider one of myself a biggest Star Wars fans growing up, and I watched those movies. I haven't watched those original 3 500 times, and I'm not exaggerating. I swear to God, in the course of my life since I was 10 on. I'm a big kid. And those 3 movies, 7, 8, 9, I don't think I watched them more than twice. I wasn't.
Not 9's the best one, but all of those have issues.
Well,
for sure.
Rogue One is my favorite, and I enjoyed Solo too.
I enjoyed the movies that were outside of the main 3.
Yeah, they just I don't know, they just mucked it all up.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be another 3 coming, which
from George Lucas.
I don't know who, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, George Lucas do anything he wants, but first of all, he put out 3 great movies.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he
did. They made us wait 19 years for the prequels.
Which were good too.
They were good.
They were good, especially 3.
He should have just finished.
Especially 3 was amazing.
He got a money offer he couldn't refuse, and then I don't know, but that in my opinion, that Star Wars is his baby. That's what made it. If George Lucas did 7, 8, 9, what would they look like? It just seems like it's just a copy. 7, 8, 9 is like. The first 3 are.
I think if you want to get into politics, if you're a teenager, and you want to get into politics when you're older. Watch Star Wars. Not the first 3. That's the second 3. The prequels. Watch the prequels, because there's a strong kind of political thing around it. How a nation or a world in this a universe in this context falls.
How the whole political thing just unravels.
Exactly. Yes.
And just turns into war.
So the prequels were really good for that.
They were good, and I was really excited. But I mean, they made Luke Skywalker's my hero, and he was a little whiner.
Especially at 8.
And he even said that. I watched a couple of interviews with Mark Hamill, and he was like, "Why do they have me whining and crying and belly aching and stuff?"
And his we're gonna skip the news today.
Yeah.
And his death at the end there.
Terrible. Just terrible. Just dumb.
Horrible.
and then on episode 8, they ripped off a scene from Battlestar Galactica.
The only death that they handled,
the
only death that they handled well, was Leia's. It's the only death they handled well.
I don't even think they handled that well.
They handled it much better than Han Solo.
I don't know.
Really? No. That came out of left field.
What do you want to start killing your heroes?
Why did Han Solo have to die? That makes no sense.
You don't kill your heroes.
It makes no sense to me why Han Solo had to die.
None of them should
have
died.
No. No, that's
None
ridiculous.
of them should have died.
No, it was ridiculous.
Now Han Solo's working on the ranch in Montana, the Yellowstone.
Yeah. What was it? Was it 18? Was it the 1890?
No,
something?
1923.
1923.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wouldn't that
There's
be,
so many of them now.
so wouldn't that be cool if you flew a Millennium Falcon out of his barn in Yellowstone?
There's so
cool.
many of
That'd
them.
be a good spin-off show with Darryl, right? Darryl, you could do that one, right?
Yeah, there's was like 4 of them, right? And there's 4 more coming.
Yeah, Yellowstone meets
Yellowstone
Yeah.
meets Star Wars.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. All right, 9:35 here. Let's move on from
9:30.
Star Wars.
9:35.
9:35. It's 9:35 somewhere. Not here.
Yeah, no.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's not 9:35 somewhere here.
It's 7:35.
It's 7:35. Yes. 12:35 in Britain. It's the afternoon. Anyone listening from Britain, good afternoon. Anyway, let's move on from that before we get off the rails too much here. But yeah,
You're off the rails. Right,
Star Wars is very, very good, and you should check it out, regardless of who makes
Oh,
it.
the series are really good.
Yes.
My friend Scott's trying to get me to, and every time I talk to him, he's like yelling at me that I'm not watching them yet. But I will, Scott. I will. I'll get on the Clone Wars. It's just so much of it.
The Clone Wars, the series, yeah, there's a lot.
But most of the Clone Wars was done by George Lucas, and the last of it was done by Disney. And I guess the Clone War. No, he must be saying no. What, am I all wrong?
No, Scott here is commenting on the Facebook
Yeah.
about the sequels.
What's he saying?
I'd rather juggle cinder blocks and catch them with my face than watch the Star Wars sequels again.
All right, we are in agreement then.
Okay. Moving on from that.
You gotta do the news, right, buddy?
Yes, there is one. All right, let's get serious here. There's a news story I wanted to talk about. It's given to me by Chris yesterday. To talk about today. Taunton. Out of Taunton, Chief Edward J. Walsh reports that the Taunton Police Department is investigating a motor vehicle crash involving 2 cars that occurred Saturday afternoon at approximately 2 p.m. on Saturday, December 14th. Officers responded to the area of Winton Street and 4th Avenue for a report of a crash. Upon arrival, officers located a 2018 white Toyota Camry and a 2012 black Kia Forte involved in the crash. The operator of the Camry, 46-year-old female from Berkeley, and her passenger, a 40-year-old male from Taunton, were injured. The driver and passenger of the Camry were transported to separate hospitals. The passenger was treated and released, and the driver, as of when this was written here, remains hospitalized. The occupants of the Kia Forte, including the driver, fled the scene before the police arrived. The Taunton Police Patrol Division is investigating the crash with assistance from the Taunton Police Crash Reconstruction Unit and the Taunton Police Detective Division and the Massachusetts State Police Detective Unit. The police are asking anyone with information regarding the crash to contact Taunton Police Detectives at 508-821-1475. No further information is available about this.
Are you gonna read that again before the end of the show? Just so people.
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that.
Hit and runs. That's serious stuff. Yeah.
Yes, and we have been talking about hit and runs before on this show as well. So
yeah,
it's very, very serious. Hit and runs are very serious.
We talked about somebody down the Cape. This was years ago. Hit and run. The kid was on a bike, and it was a hit and run. And really seriously hurt.
All right. Let's switch over to our sports here because we have a lot to get to with that.
You doing a news break, Jeremy?
We're not doing the news break. We're already way ahead. of 7:30. So no, I will.
Oh, you'll get your news break again today anyway for sure. Right?
Yeah, we'll get our required news breaks in today. I didn't have time today with the 7:30.
We're talking about Star Wars.
We're talking about stuff exactly.
That's it. You talk about Star Wars, and all your responsibilities go out the window, flying out the window.
Star Wars tends to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Star Wars tends to do that. Yes. All right. Army Navy. Not an interesting game, unfortunately. 31-13 with the score there. Navy defeated Army, which is a little bit of a surprise. It's a little bit of a surprise. Army came into the game 11-1, and did not play well at all in this one. They were 22 ranked 22nd. They will have a bowl game, I believe. Army will. Let me get that up. Let's see if they have a bowl game.
Yeah, all the bowl games are coming now, huh?
Yes.
So if you're a college football fan, this is like the heyday. This is like Christmas and New Year's all wrapped out in one with these bowl games. These next few Saturdays is gonna be a lot of fun for college football fans.
Yes, they will take on Louisiana Tech, who is 5-7. This is interesting because Louisiana Tech wasn't their original opponent. Their original opponent had opted out of the game. This is the Independence Bowl. Marshall, the Green Herd of Marshall, opts out of the Independence Bowl, and this was due to lack of players. So they are not going to be taking on Army, but Louisiana Tech will. They're 5-7. To play in a bowl game, you have to have at least 6 wins. But if a team opts out, any team that's 5-7, hovering around 5-7, gets to get into that spot, and that's what happened with Marshall. They opted out, so Louisiana Tech gets to get in that spot and play in the Independence Bowl and probably get destroyed by Army. Probably. I don't know. We'll see. Army has been really good this year, and they will probably be very mad that they lost to Navy. So we'll see what happens in this game. But Louisiana Tech stepped in to play Army in the Independence Bowl, and that game. Let me see here when that game is. That game is going to be December 28th at 9:15 p.m. So that's going to be a good one for Army, potentially, there. So we have that. Another thing that happened was the Heisman Trophy ceremony that took place. And let me get that up. 1 second here. Travis Hunter, Colorado's Travis Hunter, wins the Heisman Trophy last night, and he has done extremely, extremely well this year. Travis Hunter, if I can get his stats up here really quick. His stats this year, 1 second here. This takes a second. Stats. There we go. 1 second. This computer is loading up the stats. There we go. His stats this year: 92 receptions, 1,152 yards, with 14 touchdowns. That is very, very impressive. So there you go. Travis Hunter is your 2024 Heisman Trophy winner. That is a really big deal for him, and congratulations to Travis Hunter. He is also potentially on the Patriots' radar to get drafted by the Patriots as well. There has been several mock drafts that have named Travis Hunter as the pick for the Patriots. So we'll see what happens in April when that takes place, the draft. We still don't know exactly how the Patriots will pick. Will they pick third? Will they pick second? Will they pick first? We don't know yet. Potentially, they could pick as high as number one if things go to plan with other teams, and the Patriots lose out, which I don't know if they will. I think they'll have at least one more win in here within the next couple of games here. They'll have the Chargers coming up next week. They have the Cardinals coming up today at 4:25 p.m. in Glendale. And then they have 2 games against the Buffalo Bills. They're not beating the Buffalo Bills. Those are 2 wins. Those are 2 losses pretty much confirmed right there. They're not beating the Bills. Unless the Bills sit all their starters, they are not losing to the Patriots. It's just not going to happen. Josh Allen is having a NFL MVP caliber season. He was potentially the frontrunner for the MVP, actually. And just all the entire team, the Buffalo Bills, are firing on all cylinders, doing much better than even the team that's leading the AFC right now. That is the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Kansas City Chiefs find ways to win. I mean, they only have 1 loss this year. They're 11-1 or 12-1 right now. They continue to find ways to win. I don't understand. I just don't understand it. As long as you have Patrick Mahomes, if you give the ball to Patrick Mahomes with 2 minutes, around 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes to go in the game, he's going to win you the game, no matter what, it seems like. And he has done very, very well there. But I've given my prediction for the Super Bowl several times throughout the football season so far. I still believe it's going to be Chiefs and Lions in the Super Bowl this year. Super Bowl 59. It's going to be a big one. This is the big one before the big one. The big one is going to be Super Bowl 60. That's going to be a really, really big Super Bowl next year, 2026. But anyway, that is pretty much your sports. Let's actually, real quick, before we're done with sports here, let's get through one more thing, and that is, 1 second here, that's going to be the scores for the Division 2, Division 3 games here. Let me just get that up real quick. We have Division 2, Division 3. Excuse me. We have as follows. That's not what I want. What is going on? Hold on 1 second. Go back here. Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, we have the scores as follows. The Division 2 championship has been set. Valdosta State defeated Minnesota State 35-21, and Ferris State defeated Slippery Rock 48-38. Those 2 teams will meet in the Division 2 final coming up here probably next week, I think. Division 3 semifinal has been set. Mount Union defeated Salisbury University 38-17. Bethel was defeated by Susquehanna 24-21. And St. Johns Hopkins University defeated Mary Hardin Baylor 17-10. And North Central College destroyed Springfield, Massachusetts, Springfield College, 27-3. And they remain undefeated, and they will go to the semifinal there as well. A great year for Springfield ends in the quarterfinal, but they have done very, very well this year. So congratulations to Springfield on the good year that they've had, but it does end there in the quarterfinals. All right, that is the sports. We'll take our last commercial break right now, and when we come back, we'll have a couple of things to talk about, events going on for Christmas. So let's take our last commercial break right now. You're listening to Middleboro in Review on WVB at 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We'll be right back. Hold on. Gotta Turn that up. Try that again. Here we go. Refresh this. Refresh this. Alright. Okay.
Coffee with Tony is back. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting right after the 9 a.m. news. Great local, regional, and national guests, but more
Alright, no transportation today. I'm not going to be able to get to it.
and open lines at 508-822-1106. I'm looking forward to talking to all of you every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday on Coffee with Tony. Heard only on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in downtown Middleboro. At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers, and temporary lodging. For more information, go to svdbmiddleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
That was a really good. That's a really good commercial. I did a really good job on that commercial.
You do a really good job, commercials in general. Hey, did your package come yesterday? A couple days ago? Must have been from Grandpa.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't usually look at the mail. I barely get mail. I don't look at it.
Injured in the line of duty, join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Alright, there we go. 3, 2, 1. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We got about 8 minutes left in the show today. I got about 8 minutes if you want to call in. 508-822-1106 is the number. Alright, we're going to finish the show today by talking about a couple of community events coming up. First off, free cardboard disposal this year at the City of Taunton's Convenience Center, which is located at 330 East Britannia Street. Cardboard disposal will be free of charge at the city's Convenience Center on the following dates: Wednesday, December 18th, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., Friday the 20th, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., Saturday the 21st, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., Friday the 27th at 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., Saturday, December 28th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., the 3rd of January, Friday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., and Saturday, January the 4th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please note that the Convenience Center is closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, beginning the week of January 6th. Cardboard drop-off rates will apply. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation said that Route 44 in Taunton will close for maintenance work nightly. The roadway between Arlington and Winter Street in both directions will be closed from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m., which is happening now through December the 30th. The following detours are going to be in place during the duration of work. If you're going 44 eastbound, take a left onto Arlington Street, a right onto School Street, a right onto Winter Street, and then take a left onto Route 44 eastbound. If you're going westbound on 44, take a right onto Winter Street, a left, I'll start over here. Take a right onto Winter Street, a left onto School Street, a left onto Arlington Street, and take a right onto Route 44 eastbound. Information on roadwork and traffic conditions statewide can be found on Mass 511, and drivers traveling through the area should use caution and expect delays if you're driving through that area at night, which I know many people do. I don't. Don doesn't, but I know many people do that. So be careful and expect delays in that area. Let's see here. Many events coming up.
You should
Done.
You should repeat the hit and run before you sign off. Just
all right.
So because that's important.
Yes.
You know what I mean, you know.
Do one more here.
Would Chris
exactly
text that to you?
Yeah. No, he emailed that to me.
Yeah.
Before we do that.
Probably one more time.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that one more time here. But before we do that, Holiday Lights at the Park in Middleboro takes place from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Today. And then again, Friday, December 20th, Saturday, December 21st, and Sunday, December 22nd at the Pierce Playground, 526 Jackson Street, 526, 26, not 526. I don't think Jackson Street goes that far into the numbers there, but 26 Jackson Street in Middleboro. Parking is free. Admission is $10 per adult, $5 for children. If I have an older and children 4 and younger are admitted free. For more information, you can call 508-946-2440. I'm sorry. Again, that number is 508-946-2440. All right. So we have all of that. I'll repeat from a little bit earlier today, something I read earlier. Chief Edward J. Walsh reports that the Taunton Police Department is investigating a motor vehicle crash involving 2 cars that occurred Saturday afternoon. At approximately 2 p.m. on Saturday, December the 14th, officers responded to the area of Whittington Street and 4th Avenue for a report of a crash. Upon arrival, officers located a 2018 Toyota Camry and a 2012 black Kia Forte.
You said it perfect last time.
Yeah, I did that. Fiorte. I almost said Fiorte for some reason. Involved in the crash, the operator of the Camry, 46-year-old female from Berkeley, and her passenger, a 40-year-old female from Taunton, were injured. The driver and passenger of the Camry were transported to separate hospitals. The passenger was treated and released, and the driver remains hospitalized. The occupants of the black Kia Forte, including the driver, fled the scene before the police arrived. The Taunton Police Patrol Division is investigating the crash with assistance from the Taunton Police Crash Reconstruction Unit and the Taunton Police Detective Division and the Massachusetts State Police Detective Unit. Police are asking anyone for information regarding the crash to contact Taunton Police Detectives at 508-821-1475. No further information is available at this time. And remember, if you want to hear if there's any updates with this story and you want to hear that on the Morning Wake Up News, there's an update with the story there before before Morning Wake Up News takes place tomorrow morning. You can listen to Morning Wake Up News 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every Monday through Friday here on WVBF, either with Chris Keach or Ron Lancaster. Again, that is Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. For Morning Wake Up News. And Middleboro Matters, another edition of Middleboro Matters, will take place tomorrow, the December 16th edition. We'll be talking about a whole bunch of stuff as well, so stay tuned for that. That is at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. to 12 as well, so stay tuned for that. And coming up after us here, we're getting off the air here in just about a minute or so, but Coming up after us, we have Bread of Life with Pastor Ortez Vandross at around 8:05 this morning. Today's show, today's message is called Joy Has Finally Come. Again, that's today's message from Pastor Ortez Vandross at Bread of Life. Always a great program. Pastor Ortez Vandross does every Sunday for Bread of Life.
Absolutely. He's a great guy. We've had him on the show a couple times, and oh God, what a great guest. He is so much fun to be around. We're hoping to have him on the show. We did talk to him, about 3-4 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe after, he's really busy around Christmas time, obviously. Got a lot going on. But, yeah, we'll keep calling him. Hopefully we'll have him as a guest maybe in January. That'd be great. We had him on for the April 7th show, fifth anniversary show with Chuck Howard also. And it was a great show with the four of us in the studio. What a great moment it was. And I learned a lot from, every time he walks in the studio, I learn a lot. I'm really impressed by him. He's really, he's such a great guy. If he's listening, I hope he is listening. I have a lot of respect for him.
And speaking of Chuck Hart, he will be with us.
Another great guy. Guy. I love having Chuck into the studio. He's my age bracket, but he makes the show so much fun.
Speaking of Chuck Hart, he will be in the studio with us the first Sunday in January. For our first show of the year,
Chuck's
he'll be with us.
House every first Sunday of the month.
Yep.
So that's always looking forward to that.
All right, it is 8:01. We got to go. Thank you, everyone, for listening to today's program. We'll be back next week for the December 22nd edition of Middleboro in Review. I don't know what we'll have, but it will sure be a good show for sure. But we'll be back next week with another edition of Middleboro in Review. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.
Live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union studios at 14 Church Green, we are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleboro Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Come on. Today. There we go.
News this hour from...
I'd rather juggle cinder blocks and catch them with my face than watch the Star Wars sequels again.
Tell us how you really feel, Scott. Love it.
Oh, it's great.
He's right.
I agree.
Right. Yeah. We grew up with Star Wars. We breathe and live Star Wars. Everything. That's all we done. That's all we watched. That's all we talked about.
Yes.
We breathed and
absolutely.
To have that come out and just be terrible. You know?
Yeah. With 9 was a little less offensive.
I thought they all were terrible.
No.
It's just so stupid.
7 and 8 were, they were bad.
How was the Death Star still, that thing exploded. That thing to nothing. You know what I mean? How is the throne room on a planet?
Magic.
Yeah, that's just dumb. That was just dumb.
Magic.
They're on the throne room on the planet. Oh yeah, well,
Harry Potter magic.
Yeah.
Harry Potter did it.
Stupid. That's what I didn't like about it. At least other than the Force and all that stuff, at least the Star Wars were realistic.
Yeah.
When something blew up, it was gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not on a planet magically on. I don't know.
No, series need to know when to stop. Series need to know when to stop. Like Halloween, for example, that should have stopped, they should have never made 3 to begin with, by the way. Maybe it should have stopped at 2. I don't know.
Yeah,
The Halloween, There's like 20 of them now.
Well, when you put up sequels and sequels and sequels, that means that the whole idea of fresh new ideas is blown out the window. No one has them anymore.
I think with Halloween though.
Why do you think people like Yellowstone so much? That's like a nice, fresh idea.
Yeah,
it really is. It's people.
I think with the original Halloween, I think they should have maybe stopped after like 3 films. They really should have stopped. I think with that idea, like 3 or 4 films is like the limit before it starts to get kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Rob Zombie, he revived that series. He only did 2 movies in that series because
that's all you need to do.
That's all you need to do. Exactly. With the newest movies, this was a trilogy. It was a trilogy. It was 3 movies, and that was it. It kind of ended stupidly.
That's what I'm saying. When there's 15 movies, you can't go. Which one are you going to go back and watch? None of
Exactly. No. This Saw. There's like 10 of them. Like that movie, that should have ended at 3. It should have ended at 3. It really should have ended at 3. There's way too many of them. There's 10 of them, and the story is ridiculously convoluted and confusing.
Yeah.
And there's 10 of these movies, and it gets more confusing every single movie you go. With Saw, and they also turn up the violence and the gore to 20. Especially the 3rd movie.
Yeah, it's just stupid. This 3rd movie's always seen it. You look at Death Wish.
3rd movie's also there seems to be a curse.
Yeah.
With that, yeah.
I mean, it was fun. It was entertainment, but it was like, really, you know?
Exactly.
You know, give me a break.
No.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching today's program. We'll be back next week for our second to last show of the year. And then our last show of the year will be December 29th. And then we'll be into 2025. Chuck Hart will be with us on the first show of the year. 1 second here. Let me get the show going here.
Brought characters from Charles Dickens' books to life. Oliver Twist, Ebenezer Scrooge, Miss Havisham, Mr. Pickwick amongst the character sightings. They were accompanied by Christmas carol singers in the narrow streets of the historic center. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WDVF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
All right. Okay. That's fine. Okay. What was I saying here? The first show of the year, I believe that is January the 5th. I don't have the calendar in front of me. Don, what's the first Sunday of the year? The 5th, correct?
The 5th?
Or is it no, you know what? It's the 6th, because January 7th.
The first what?
The first Sunday.
Is
it the 5th?
5th.
Oh, it's the 5th?
Yes.
Okay. No, alright, so yeah, January 5th, 2025 will be Chuck Hart.
We got 2 more.
Two more shows in the year here. Rob Zombie's versions were filmed where I now live. Yeah, the Rob Zombie versions of Halloween were interesting.
You said that, Scott?
Yeah, Scott did. And that was, they were interesting. They were a little bit more bloody. You know.
But he only made 2.
But he only made 2
Not
of them.
20. You know what I mean?
He didn't make 20 of them.
I mean, you want something that's memorable.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no, you're right. You're right.
Look at Mad Max and Road Warrior. You seen both those movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Part 3 comes out.
Yeah.
Mad Max.
And now they have the new ones.
And what?
For Mad Max. They have 2 new ones.
I didn't like the reboot. You saw that.
The reboot was alright.
I didn't like it.
It was alright.
The Road Warrior, whatever. Mad Max, no. The reboot was terrible. I like to see I like to see what's his name do it. The guy who did it originally.
I don't know.
Mad Max. You know who did Mad Max?
Give me a phone. I'll look it up.
No.
I don't have. I don't. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, I think, but yeah, sequels they're hit and miss.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, yes.
Yeah, Mel Gibson would be awesome doing another Road Warrior. At his crotchety age now, he'd be perfect. You know what I mean?
With with Mel Gibson, he's like a really good director. He directed.
Yeah, but I mean, a new Mad Max movie or a Road Warrior movie.
And he should direct it.
No, he should be in it.
He should be in it and directing it.
It would be unbelievable.
He should do both. He should direct it and be in it.
People would flock. People would flock. Probably like another Mad Max, like Civilization starting to come back again. You know what I mean? And he's older. Obviously, he's in a. Hey Siri, how old is Mel Gibson?
It's like 70, I think, right? Oh, okay. Getting there.
Yeah.
70, almost 70. But yeah, he's a good director, too. He directed Hacksaw Ridge, and that is a really good film. That is an amazing film.
I think Lethal Weapon 5's come out. Hey Siri.
Really?
Show me Lethal Weapon 5. Lethal Weapon TV series. Lethal Weapon 4. She doesn't even have it. TV series coming out?
Was it a television series?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Every time I put Wikipedia, they're like begging me to donate. Like, I'm gonna donate $500 to fucking Wikipedia. Really? Like, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, sequels and like third and fourth and fifth movies, they really seldom work.
Mm-hmm.
They really seldom work. It's really tough for them to work. Indiana Jones, the newest Indiana Jones, that worked.
That was good.
What was that? That's 5, right?
They were all good.
Or 4.
5.
Yeah,
No,
5.
Yeah,
No, that worked.
Because Crystal Skull was the one that came out in 2008, and that was good. And the new one, you know what I liked about that one? He's waking up to like a Beatles song, blaring, and he's like, they're all in New York City now.
Yeah, so it's the 60s.
I don't know.
I think it's the 60s.
This water was over there, Joey. I'm not sure what to do.
Okay, I'll just put it somewhere. I don't know what I want to do with it.
Just put it in the trash. You can put it.
I'll dump it later.
Dump it because it's secure. You know what I mean? It's not going to.
I'll dump it anyway. But yeah, no, it was the 60s, right?
Are you still on Facebook?
I am. Yes. We still have someone watching.
Oh,
Scott, I think.
Scott A.
But yeah, he wakes up in the 60s. That's my guess.
What? And the new one?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah,
60s.
yeah,
In the 60s.
Magical Mystery Tour. He's waking up to Magical Mystery.
1960.
He wakes up, Magical Mystery Tour is
Well,
and he said,
when did that come out?
Waking up
64?
hungover is like, what what is this stuff? The neighbors are blocking the Beatles. It was awesome. The way that movie started out.
I think there was a particular date that you can go back in history and look. Because there was a scene in the movie where he was in the parade there.
Yeah.
He was going through the parade. I think it was just during one of the action scenes. He was moving through the parade there. And there was a particular date for that parade. You can go back and look. And so then that's where that was
it was
set.
Yeah, it was 1969.
Yes, 1969.
Yep.
So yeah. Very interested. But yeah, no, sequels very seldom work. They don't work a lot, but when they do, it's awesome. The fourth, like a third, fourth, fifth movie kind of deal.
Yeah.
They don't work a lot, but when they do work, it's great. But anyway, gotta go, everybody. Thank you for watching the show today, and thank you for watching this little post show here that we had. Sometimes we'll do this, but, whatever. But thank you for watching. And we'll be back next week for another edition of Middleboro Review, the December 22nd, 2024 edition. And then we'll have the December 29th edition. And then the January the 5th edition, we'll have Chuck Hart on. The first show of the year, we'll have Chuck Hart on. And Middleboro Matters also is coming up too tomorrow. You can listen to that on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. Have a great day, Scott. And have a great day, everyone else that is tuning in and has tuned into the show today. And we're going to be back on, or I'm going to be back on tomorrow again on Middleboro Matters, 11 a.m. to 12, December 16th, for another edition of Middleboro Matters. And bye-bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and go Patriots. Bye-bye.